Hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Welcome to the Voice of Biafra, where we prioritize delivering information concerning the liberation of our nation. My name is Marvelous Chukwubi Ikem Arinze. Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, have recently been detained by the Finnish National Bureau of Investigation, NBI, on the 21st of November 2024 in Finland, on the charges of inciting violence and promoting terrorism-related activities in Nigeria. These have ignited a surge of support for and against his intentions by governments and international bodies, who seem to find his genuity towards the actualizing of the restoration of the independence of Biafra as a matter not to be overlooked. Ekpa's dedication to the Biafra cause has been instrumental towards the formation of a government that represents the aspirations of the Biafra people. According to Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB and forerunner of hope to the Biafra people, who was illegally renditioned to Nigeria and is still being unjustly incarcerated by the government of Nigeria for daring to speak up for the Biafra people who are being marginalized in Nigeria and their rights neglected by the government of Nigeria. Simon is not just an advocate, he is an asset to Biafra and a symbol of struggle to self-determination. All Biafrans must listen to him and support him, stressing that it is very important for the actualization of the independence of Biafra. Supporters from all over the world argue that Ekpa's arrest is politically motivated, aimed at silencing a powerful voice for justice and self-determination to the Biafra people. They emphasize his peaceful advocacy for the rights of Biafrans and his role in raising awareness about human rights abuses in the eastern region of Nigeria. Despite the legal challenges, Ekpa's message remains clear. The struggle for Biafra independence and the establishment of its government is far from over. Biafrans in recent times have organized rallies and online campaigns to demand his release and to continue spreading his message of hope and resilience. As the legal proceedings unfold, all Biafrans in homeland and in diaspora remain hopeful that justice will prevail and that he will soon be free to continue his advocacy and leadership as the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. A good number of Biafrans were interviewed on the recent development, and indeed, their spirits are high and their hopes are up. One of them has this to say: "Freedom is more important than life indeed." As we conclude on this story, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, Chief of Staff to the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, have urged all Biafrans to remain resolute, stressing that the news surrounding the arrest of His Excellency Mazi Simon Ekpa is neither forced nor in any way intended to stop the redeclaration of the restoration of the independence of Biafra on the 2nd of December 2024. She also commended the efforts of the Biafra Defense Forces and emphasized the need for a continuous decimation of terrorists within the Biafra territory to ensure the safety of lives and properties of civilians in Biafra.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. May God bless you all from here.
Not undermining a democracy. More accepted democratic process is when you give the people choice to decide their fate.
But they have a choice. This is an election which will be following democratic laws.
In Nigeria, Biafra people do not have a choice. And that is a historical problem created by the Britain. So everybody, as you have been a journalist with your experience and the history of Nigeria, you agree with me that Nigeria is a mistake because of the tribal and dangerous diversity in Nigeria, which is also a destructive diversity. So when you give the people the choice to choose how they want to live, that is a true democracy. A democracy is not when you bring in the military and invade communities, burn the communities because people are protesting. You kill them. Is that democracy? Do you do that in the United Kingdom? The answer is no.
But what about your role in all this? Your tweets.
My role.
Wait a minute. Your role in all this. Your tweets and your social media. why the need for violence?
It is, yeah.
At least 1,500 people died in the last 3 presidential election campaigns.
Was it my fault then?
And there have been deaths so far in this one too.
That's what we want to correct by making sure we do not continue to validate an evil entity that subjects their citizens to death. So the only solution to this is to disintegrate this evil entity and allow people to make their choice so that they can develop and, practice politics in the best way possible, just like the Europeans here.
So are you justifying the violence that comes from this kind of stuff that you...
It is not, the violence is not about what I do. It is the provocation of the policy of Nigeria. Okay? So it is a long time bomb coming. So what you see happening now, Nigeria have a history of violence from the beginning of Nigeria. After independence, every election in Nigeria has witnessed violence. So it is not about me. I am here as a good guy to put an end, to have a lasting solution to the violence that have caused the life of thousands of Nigerians.
But do you not accept that some of the things that you say has engendered this kind of...
From your own perspective, you can translate it and interpret it however you want. But from my own perspective, I think I am the good guy trying to teach the people that they have a right.
So there's no blood on your hands?
There is no blood on my hand. There are more blood on those supporting the election, supporting this particular coming election. They have more blood in their hand. In Imo State, you have a governor that have invaded his own state, killed people, and why are you people not talking about that? Those are the people that have blood in their hand. All the people that have been elected in Nigeria since 1960 all have had bloods in their hand, and nobody is asking them a question. I am just the good guy who say enough is enough. Somebody have to say something, and somebody have to do something, and we're doing it.
But couldn't you make more progress if you were in the tent, as it were, rather than out of the tent?
You can't.
In another country.
Sorry?
You're in Finland.
Yes.
So wouldn't it be better if you went back home and did the political thing there?
You should know. You see, I learn from what happened to others. I don't want to put my life in danger because the country, as far as I'm concerned, does not exist. Any country that does not respect the rule of law does not exist.
You're scared you might be killed?
Not everybody. You know that. You can say that as well. Yes.
There's a bounty on
because yes, there's a bounty on my head because Nigeria, because of the Islamic agenda in Nigeria, whoever that rises up to say something that will, make the life of the people to be better, they want to kill the person. They assassinate people every day. And today you see that there is a video that has been released by a man called Ikenga Imo, when an assassin invaded his house and they wanted to kill him. They are police officers. But if there is no CCTV, they will say unknown gunmen. These are the people that are causing all this crisis in Biafra land. But without that video, everybody has concluded that they are unknown gunmen. Today we have known them. What are the government doing about it? What are the international community doing about it? Every evidences that have surfaced anywhere about CCTV camera, it has always been security agent from the Nigeria state. Nobody is talking about that. That is what we are fighting against. We are defending ourselves and we have armed ourselves to fight Nigeria till the last day. We have done it before. The only difference now is that today we have social media. If social media was there in the 1960s, somebody will do what I'm doing today. In those days, we have a man called Okokondem. Okokondem was broadcasting for Radio Biafra and was propagating Biafra stuff, but because there were no social media, so he would have done even more than I'm doing today, I believe so. So this is what will make a difference. And my activities on social media is educating the people, telling them they are right, that you have a right to say no, and you have the right to say yes.
Who's funding you and your organization?
Biafra people are funding my organization.
Not the Tinubu party?
I have nothing to do with Tinubu. And it's very funny. A lot of people said Tinubu paid me 25 million. How is that possible? How is it possible?
You're denying he
did. I don't know who is Tinubu. I have never communicated with anybody close to him. Just like the way they forged the letter. The reason why this letter issue, Nigeria is a criminal country. They breed criminals. And that's what we're fighting against. The reason why the letter on gets sorted out easily and fast was because it was against Finland. and Finland have to officially react to the letter. And the letter went viral. There are so many lies against me out there on social media. Nobody could come and say it is not true. Okay? So that is, and those lies, when they continue to say it and maintain it, it becomes truth when nobody debunk it.
You talk about criminals. Do you think the candidates for the presidency are criminals?
They are all criminals. Yes, all of them.
Even Peter Obi.
Peter Obi is a criminal.
But he's a southerner, isn't he?
He doesn't. I am not a tribal. Listen, I'm not a tribalist. I'm not a tribalist, and that is what makes us different. We want. If I'm criticizing you, I criticize you with fact and figures. I'm going to tell you how all of them are. Do I explain? One, starting from Atiku. Atiku was indicted in the United States for money laundering. He's a criminal. How do you think if Nigeria is a United States, Atiku will come back and start contesting with the criminal record he has to have for money laundering? Tinubu was indicted in the United States for drug pushing. The records are there, so it's criminal. Nigeria is being ruled by criminals, and they breed criminals. Peter Obi his name was in Pandora. He didn't deny it. It's also the part of money laundering, international money laundering crime. He has $15 million in offshore accounts.
But surely Obi, being a southerner, is on the side of your people.
That is the problem. Why must you have somebody that have to be in the side of my people? That is the dangerous diversity that have brought us this far, because it will never work. Everything about Nigeria is what favors my people. We want a Biafra where everything favors everybody. But when you have Nigeria, it is either Fulani. Now we don't even have Hausa anymore because Fulani have overshadowed them. So it is either you are fighting for Northerner as a Fulani Muslim, or you are fighting for Yorubas, or you are fighting for Igbo people. So how can you continue in that kind of system? This is why we must make sure that we do not validate Nigeria again.
Right. What's your relationship with Mr. Kanu at the moment?
Kanu is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, and I regard him as my leader.
Do you talk? Do you have contact with him?
Well, we communicate somehow, but that's a confidential issue.